Hello, good people, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be our 5-a-day math review for this week, but I split them up by day, so this video is just for the 5 problems for Monday, and that's Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Let's get started. Number 1 says express the ratio 3 ways, and we are comparing gray to white, so we have these two shaded in gray dots compared to the 3 white ones. So one way we could express this would be as a fraction, and there are 2 gray dots for every 3 white ones. Another would be with words, where we could use 2 to 3, and another would be using the colon, where I'd write 2 colon 3. Number 2, we have a few different integers, and we're going to express their opposite and their absolute value. So the first integer is positive 3, so the opposite would be negative 3, and the absolute value of 3 would be 3. Now just a little reminder over here, our absolute values are always going to be positive, because it is measuring the distance that we are away from 0. So whether the number is a positive number like 3 or a negative number like negative 4, they all have a certain distance from 0, and that distance will be a positive number. So negative 4, the opposite of that would be positive 4, and its absolute value is 4. And our last one, 8, the opposite would be negative 8, and its absolute value is 8. Number 3, an expression to represent a number n divided by 6. There's a few different ways you could write this. Probably the most common way to see this would be just n over 6. That's often how we would see it if it was a larger expression or equation. But you certainly could also write n and then the division symbol 6. Either one would be n divided by 6. Then we have just 2 different problems here with addition and subtraction of decimals, and the most important thing there is going to be to line up your decimals. So I will start with just the longer decimal here, 212, and 5/10, and we're adding 27 and 9/10. I'm making sure to line up my decimal right there. 5 plus 9 is 14. Put down the 4, carry the 1. And then I have 7 plus 2 and 1 more 3 is 10. Then 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 is 4. And 2 plus nothing else is 2. So there's my final answer. Over here, 175 and 5/10 minus 12 and 7/10. I need to rewrite this, make sure I'm stacking my decimals. 12 and 7/10. I cannot do 5 minus 7, so I need to borrow from this other 5, make it a 4. My original 5 becomes a 15. Minus 7 is 8. 4 minus 2 is 2. 7 minus 1 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 1. So there's my final answer, 162 and 8/10. And number 5, we have 975 divided by 6. So my 975 will be in the house. I'm dividing this by 6. Does 6 go into 9? Yes, one time, which would be 6. I can subtract, get 3, bring down the 7. Does 6 go into 37? Yes, it would go 6 times, which is 36. Subtract 1, bring down the 5. 5. Does 6 go into 15? Yes, it'll go 2 times, which would be 12. I'll subtract and get 3. And you could handle this a few different ways from this point. One would be to stop and say that my final answer is 162, and then I could express this as a fraction and put my 3 right here over the divisor, 6, and I could say my final answer is 162 and 3/6. Could also add a decimal point, bring down the 0. 6 into 30 would go 5 times. Remember my decimal point up top. Multiply, and I'd have nothing left over. Next up, we have 478 times 38. I'll rewrite this. And 8 times 8, that's 64. Put down the 4, carry the 6. 8 times 7 is 56. Plus 6 is going to be 62. Put down the 2 and carry the 6. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 6 is 38. I'll cross out my carry so I don't accidentally use them again. Holding 0. And now 3 times 8 is 24. Put down the 4 and carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, and add them up. 4, 6, 8 plus 3 is 11. Put down the 1, carry the 1, and that is 8. Final answer, 8,164. And that is it, folks. So, hopefully that video was helpful. That was Mondays, and there'll be another one for Tuesday. See you soon.